guys, it's Shay from Wonderfully Chaotic, and I am here with another episode of Laundry and Truth. And today's topic is going to be things I hate about being a mom of many. So if you're new to my channel, Laundry and Truth is where I take some time while I am doing my laundry and pass along some little nuggets of truth about whatever topic I feel like talking about. So I don't want you to get the wrong idea about this video. It is not going to be a super negative, grouchy, things I hate type of video. I'm just going to talk about some different things that have been on my mind recently. So it's Sunday afternoon, and I am working on laundry downstairs while the kids are upstairs doing some chores and things. And we'll just get right into it. So, number one thing that I really hate about being a mom of a large family with many kids is that we are always late. There went my camera. Let's try that again. So, I hate being late. It is really, really frustrating to me because I feel like being late is a sign of laziness almost sometimes, like you don't care or you're not as well organized as you should be. I think it just shows a lack of caring if you're late. Now, granted, sometimes things happen. Things come up at the last minute. So I'm not saying like every once in a while everybody is late, but I mean constantly late. So I've tried to, just about hit myself in the face. I have tried to do things to curb our lateness, like getting up earlier, setting things out the night before, making more of a schedule. And that has helped. It definitely helps. But we're still late. Even if it's just like 5 minutes, it really bothers me. And maybe that's just something that will come with time. Maybe as the kids get older and I have less things coming up at the last minute, like people pooping themselves or somebody forgetting a shoe. Okay, so got the dryer loaded there. I'm not going to turn it on just yet though because it's kind of loud and I'm afraid you won't be able to hear me over the dryer, which leads me to number two. There we go, two. Leads me to number two, which is the noise level of having many children. Especially at this season right now that we're in, where we have multiple little ones. I think maybe as they get a little bit older, it might get easier somewhat, in that respect, maybe, anyway. Because little people like to yell and run and scream and cry and make lots of noise. So I'm thinking maybe as they get older, that will taper off at least somewhat or change a little bit. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm just talking crazy. But I am hopeful that that will happen. Because right now it can be pretty noisy in our household. Like sometimes it can be quiet. But the majority of the time, there's people talking, kids making noise, little fights here and there. The kids are wondering who I'm talking to right now. One of them just looked down the stairs and he's like, what? Because he thinks I'm talking to the dryer, I'm pretty sure. Number three, trying to work while I talk here, so pardon me. Number three, I would say, is the lack of spontaneity, maybe, that you don't really get to have so much when you have a larger family. I would say it's a lot easier when you have just one child, maybe even two kids, to go out and do things, to go to the store, to go on a date night, to take a vacation. Once you have 4, 5, 6, 7, more than that, children, it takes a lot more thought, planning, time, effort, money, all of those things, to do things. Not necessarily always, but for a lot of things it does. Before, when I would take the kids somewhere, like we'll say going out to eat, for instance. If I have one child, my husband, myself, going out to eat, it's going to be significantly less expensive than going out with myself, my husband, and 6 or 7 kids. So that's a factor. If we want to go on a date night, if I have one child, I think it's a lot easier to find a babysitter for one child than it is to say, hey, I have 6 or 7 kids for you to watch. What else was I going to add to that? For vacations and things, you have to plan quite a bit more. You can't just drop everything and go. That has been a hard thing for me, I suppose, in some respects. For certain friendships, acquaintances, have kind of had a little bit of an issue because other people sometimes are more willing to just, not willing, but other people will be able to just drop everything and go, or text me at 9 that you want to meet somewhere at 9:30, and can I do that? Not necessarily. Sometimes yes, other times heck no. So that's something that can be a hassle, something that I don't care for. Okay, so I came to sit down for a few moments while I wait on my eldest son to bring me laundry down that needs to be washed. And that it leads me into number 4 of things that I hate. The never-ending piles of laundry and dishes and toys all over my floor. And I know that's not necessarily a thing that comes with being a large family mom. I think that's just a part of parenting, is that there's, or even just having a family, even just a husband and wife, really. There's always chores that need done. There's a yard that needs mowed, or, things around the house that need fixed. There's always going to be stuff that needs done. That's just kind of the nature of life and living and being a human. But when you have a large family and you have more people living in your house, it can be a challenge, because it seems like sometimes when I clean up one room, somebody else is destroying the next room. Or when I go and get all the laundry done, then somebody has worn 3 or 4 outfits, or somebody's pooped through another outfit, or whatever the case may be. I feel like I'm talking about poop a lot today, but I have a lot of babies, so maybe that's why. So yeah, it's the chores and things like that. Sometimes that can get kind of overwhelming, the things that need to be done, or that I feel need to be done. And so some of that, I think, probably comes from levels of expectation, ages of children probably as a factor, because obviously, a 10-month-old is not going to be picking up after themselves and giving themselves a bath and, making their dinner or something like that. So I think that will probably change some too as the kids get older and things like that. And lastly, number 5, the amount of stuff that, well, let's just leave it at the amount of stuff. The amount of stuff I have to take places when I go somewhere, the amount of stuff I have in my house, just the amount of stuff in general. When I go places, I have to make sure that I have diapers, pull-ups, wipes, an extra set of clothes, snacks. And when you have a large family or multiple littles, it's multiplied. So the amount of stuff in our house is something that I am working on, continue to work on, have been working on for a while. Toys and things, are magnified by however many children you have and how many toys everyone gets them and how many they get for Christmas. It all just multiplies. Clothes, I think I've talked about clothes on my channel before, kids' clothes. With my first 2, I saved like everything that they wore. And for my very first baby, I had a couple baby showers, because I had like my mom's side of the family like threw me a little baby shower, and somebody from my dad's side threw me a baby shower, and some friends threw me a baby shower, and so I had tons of stuff for him, which was a huge blessing, because we didn't have a whole lot. We were very young. But so I saved all that. And then I had a girl next, so I saved all of my girl stuff that I had. I didn't have any baby showers with her, but I saved all of the things that I had. And so I just kept collecting stuff, each kid. And finally, when, I got to 4 or 5, I was like, okay, I have to slow this down a little bit. We don't have to keep every single little item of clothing, because I had like 15, 20 storage boxes, like, the big storage boxes, like the plastic tubs. I had those stacked up in my shed, and they were full of baby clothes, and shoes and baby items. Anyway, so I've tried to lessen that somewhat, be a little bit more minimalistic maybe on my approach to stuff. But I think that also applies to like amounts of activities, sports, kids' activities. When you have one kid, they can be in multiple things, and it can get pretty stressful even with one kid. But then when you have 6 or 7 and they each have things they want to be in, sports, activities, groups, it can get very overwhelming very quickly, which is why I try and limit the amounts of things that they do, to things that they're for sure interested in, and things that we can combine if that's an option. And I'm not going to limit them, be like, no, you can't do anything. It's just I put a limit on it, so we're not going to 15 practices in one day and, have something every single night of the week. Although right now we kind of do have something every night of the week, but that's just because we're in the middle of a busier season. So I've been trying to finish this video for like 2 hours. Had several things happen. Kiddos have things that they need help with, and it started storming, and anyway, that doesn't matter. So, finishing up my video of things that I hate, I just want to say that even though there are things that I hate or really, really don't like, that does not mean that I don't enjoy my life, that I don't love my kids, because I definitely do. It's just there's certain things, I gotta be honest about, that are not so great sometimes, and I like to share the good and the bad, and maybe you can empathize with some of these things that I've shared, or maybe you have different things that bother you, and I want you to feel free to share those in the comments section below. If you like the video, you can subscribe to see more of my crazy antics and laundry and truth. Hopefully we'll have more episodes of that. And I will talk to you next time, because somebody is literally banging on this door trying to get in. Bye.